Well, good day, everyone. It's day 11 of my 31-day challenge. So, a third of the way through and feeling good, feeling good. I'm over my cold and, now I've just got to keep it up for the next 20 odd days and keep busy. So, this morning I got up, it was, as you can tell, overcast. We had a little bit of sun a little bit later, but early in the morning wasn't much going on. So I went to Castle Rock with my drone, and this is the shot I've taken. It's 1/4 of a second at f7.1. Now, if you look at it, it's actually really sharp, you know, considering that it was a quarter of a second. But we got some nice water movement. I think around quarter of a second, 1/8 of a second is usually pretty nice for that water movement. Anyway, I'm gonna have to work on this one because it's got yeah, it's pretty flat lighting and it's not really super colorful or anything. So let's just see what we can get. And also the water at this time of the year in winters can be a little bit murky, not as blue as it normally is. So let's see what we can come up with. Anyway, I've added some sharpening there, and brought the masking up, and I've added a little bit of luminance there just to get rid of a bit of the crunch. I've also gone into the optics and made sure that that chromatic aberration box is ticked, and I'm just going to look around and see what else is going on. But otherwise, it's all pretty straightforward. Light-wise, do I want, more shadow detail? Possibly a little bit there. Yes, it's good. Histogram's pretty much got everything captured. I'm going to probably put a new sky in, I'm thinking, but we shall see. We'll see what goes on. But I am looking at color. Do I want it to be warmer, cooler? And I mean, yeah, could be I don't know, a bit of saturation and vibrance. Hmm. Don't know. Don't know at this stage. It is not stacking up that good. Maybe a little bit of clarity, like so, which is good to have. Making sure that we've got everything. We haven't clipped any of our whites at all, which is kind of nice. So let's have a look at our highlights and see if we can put a little bit more lightness in those highlights without clipping anything. It looks pretty good. Maybe go back a smidgen. And I'm thinking that what I want to do is focus the light on this area and less on this area. So I may do that in Photoshop, but let's have a look at adding a radial gradient here and just adding a bit of light to this side of the rock, because that's where the sun was going to hit. So let's just have a look if we just add a bit of light there and a bit of warmth and a bit of saturation, make it look a bit more like it got had a little bit of sunlight hitting it, like that. And let's have a look and see if we turn that on and off. Not too bad. I think it's a little bit yellowish. Try that again. Probably okay. And not much else really worth noting. I think I'll do the rest in Photoshop. We could export this as a, well, let's have a look to see if we can do something nicer with that watercolor. Let's see if we do go like that. Yeah, we could probably get it. Yeah, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to open this up as an object, smart object. And because of that, I can then create, if I right mouse click on there, I can create a new smart object via copy. So basically I'm going to get a copy, which is still a smart object, allows me to go back into Camera Raw, and let's work on getting that water looking a little bit more colorful and the vibrance there. And if we go into our color mixer and luminance, we can click on that little doohickey, add a little bit more light in there, but we want some saturation in there as well. So the water's looking a little bit nicer. Maybe look at the hue. Which way do we want it to go? Probably a little bit. It's adding purple now. I don't want to add purple. Aquas. Yeah, it's sort of one of those colors that's just not going to. It's just muddy and horrible. But we might be able to do something else. But it's better than what it was. We can go back to color and add a little bit more blue to it. Something like that. Click OK. And now let's just go back to a light and just add a bit more shadow. Also a little bit of black in there as well. Okay, and we just click OK and it comes back as a layer. So if we turn it on and off, you can see before and after. It looks a lot nicer. The whole thing looks nicer, but we're just going to apply it to the water. So come add a layer mask, Command I to invert it. I'm going to grab a white brush and we're going to just go and brush in that water area there. And I'm doing a fairly amateur job. As you can appreciate, I may as well just go over the sky as well, because that's probably going to get white. And you can see that I'm not doing it too perfectly. Just doing a good enough job to get away with it. If you hit this backspace key, you can see where you might have missed your masking. Yeah, you can see there where I've missed rubbing that out or rubbing it in, whichever way you want to look at it. And then if we go back and forwards, we can see, yeah, much nicer color. Okay, flatten that. And we're going to flatten it properly. I'm going to save it. I'm going to call it, I'm going to save it on my computer in the C drive as Castle Rock 9300 MVC P3 because it's on the Mavic 3. Okay, save. All right. Now, the next big steps. What are we going to do with this? Well, I think if I'm going to put a new sky in, I better maybe work on that first up. So hit wand tool, magic wand tool. Sorry, quick selection tool, that one is. And I'm just going to quickly select what I've done there. And that's probably good enough. I'll just get a line here, hold down the Option key to remove any of that mask, and just try and stick it along there to get a pick up that bit of a hill in the background there. Try and make it a little bit more even. And sort of go along like this. And where are we? So on and so forth. Close enough. I mean, that does look a bit dodgy there, but that's okay. We'll fix that up if we have to. We'll invert it. Punch it out on its own layer. See how sky has disappeared there now. And to get a bigger canvas, go Command Option C, and we'll just add to our height. We'll add, say, 50 centimeters there of white, and that just gives us room to drop in the sky and be happy. Now, if I just go through and find a sky, that's another image that I've been looking at that may get a look in later on. Let's just go find a sky that's gonna work. I mean, this one would be pretty nice. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. I'm gonna chuck it in there, and it's probably going to be a little bit, yeah. Look at that. Oh, that looks too crazy. If I duplicate it and add a screen blend mode, color balance of that, bit too purple, eh? It's a nice guy though. Shot that on one of the early parts of my drone challenge. And that one too, that was not a bad. That sky might work pretty good. Um, let's have a look. Anything would be better than what we've got. Let's drag and drop that in there. Okay, let's have a look. Problem we have, because it's actually the same, looking in the same direction. It doesn't look right, does it? I know why, because it's the scale's out. Let's just bring this in. And see what it looks like when we do it like this. And we're just going to bring that down a little bit. We can get rid of that. Maybe. Command T. Let's just drag it up a little bit and down a little bit. You really want to get that cloud there to be where that is. Now, if I hit turn it on and off, I reckon we could probably just eliminate a bit of that. So get a brush on there, and we're just going to, with black as our foreground color, 30% opacity, we're just going to brush this back in. Yikes. Bad move, Fletch. It's just getting that bit there, but I thought the background might be a little bit richer than that, but it's not. So, I just go around and try to, fudge it wherever I can, duplicate it, screen it, drop the opacity back. And because the sky is going to be a little bit more pastel. The light is coming from there. Let's have a look before and after. It might be the sky doesn't kind of match. So this is the problem when you're putting a sky in. You can cause yourself quite a bit of grief. It's not making it any better. Yeah, no. Get rid of that sky. And try again. Find something else. This video could be a long one. I mean, that guy's probably could be okay. Or this one. Oh, that's a bit pasty. Okay, maybe I need to go back to some old files where I might be able to get some nicer skies. And maybe I should have had one in mind before I started this tutorial video. Because this can be quite annoying, especially for those who are watching it. I mean, oh, come on, Fletch, get it together. Just put any goddamn sky in. Let's put this one in. This may not work either. Oh, no, the sky, it's too the exposure's too long for what we have in the water. Mhm, mhm. Nope. Don't know. Far out. I did this the other day. Ended up going back to not having a sky in it. Oh yeah. Maybe one of these ones. Yeah, this one looks any good. Shot this one down at Bremer Bay. Come on, dude. You can do it. Yeah, computer. Oh no, it's long exposure as well. Okay, okay. That was a really long exposure, that one. Um, okay, well, there is one that has not got a long exposure on it. Bugger it. I'm going to try it. Gee, look at that. You can see it's different size file. Oh boy. Oh boy. And boy. It looks like we're in for some trouble. Let's keep that. God, it doesn't look right. Probably because that was taken from the ground and this is taken from the air. It's yikes. Ah, God, give me strength. I haven't got time for this. I need to just get something up and done. Why am I making life difficult for myself? Let's see what it looks like. It's a bit lighter. No, it's shit. Oh, far out. Hmm. Well, the only other thing is I can use a sky that is actually from that day, which is this one, and see if that can fit in there. Oh, that looks like shit too. It's got to go the other way for starters because it's sun was coming from that. That looks terrible. Stumped. Something's not working. Something's not working. Keep looking. I'll just keep looking. Fast forward this bit. Okay. Just fast forward it and just forget that this whole section existed. And that's the beauty of YouTube is you don't have to wait around for me to get my shit together. You just fast forward past all the crap. And the computer. I mean, if you look at this computer, you just think, wow, this guy's in desperate need of a new one, which is just about right. Hmm. What about that one? Well, it's like bringing the sky from up north down south. And this one was at Cable Beach. And it was just after a massive big storm that we had. There's a lot of massive thunderstorms and rain and hail and the whole bit. So here we go. Let's try it again. Still doesn't look right. It just doesn't look right. Fudge. Why am I doing this? You can see that editing photos can be a chore and it can be difficult if you're just trying to make something up and you haven't given it much thought. I mean, I should be looking at skies that were shot the same way. Actually, I do have one of an interesting sky shot from a drone. It's just the color as well. Maybe this one. You bored yet? You should be. I'm boring myself waiting for this computer. I mean, it's not a massive file. Get on with it. This is it's like another beautiful sky from the up in the Pilbara. You know, it looks kind of it's too dramatic, and it doesn't look right, even though it is. Okay, this is absolute. This is an absolute disaster. Everybody, it's an absolute disaster. Just too pink. Maybe I just need like a real stormy sky. And this is actually close to where that location is, looking in the wrong direction. This is gonna be a disaster as well. It's terrible. Maybe I can just go up and do an adjustment here. Maybe should I do a selective color straight on that layer? Because I'm just not feeling it. I'm not feeling it. Hang on. Don't count me out of this race yet. Could be maybe. Could be maybe. Get rid of that. A bit more of that. Duplicate that. Command J. See if a screen blend mode makes it all that more interesting or believable. Add a layer mask. Gradient. Dark a little bit like that. Let's go see for crop because I want to just make it into a square. So let's just crop it out so that we know where we're at. And it may not look so bad. Okay. Maybe it's before I do that, maybe I need to do something like this. Hold down both layers. So hold one layer, hold the shift key down, select both layers. Command T. Oh no, shit. Go back to where before I cropped it. Okay, let's just think a little bit more hard about this Fletcher. Command T. Let's see if it needs to be kind of flattened a bit. Yeah, that's probably better. It's starting to look like it's meant to be there a bit more because I've squished it down. So the sky looks like it's coming out towards you more. Let's try that return. See, that looks better. That looks more natural. See for crop. Let's see where my square fits into this equation. Okay, if I bring a ruler down. Okay, starting to feel a bit more positive. Ah, come on. Stuff and corruption. Surely there's better things to be doing with my... Oh, come on. I don't want you to do that. Just snap to that. Okay. Okay. All right. Don't panic. Don't panic, everybody. Let's go back to that sky. Escape. And then Command T again. Just keep bringing this down. Like that. So I think that actually, that sky looks like it matches better, even though it's still not perfect. Just noticed one big glaring problem. Command T, the light's coming from the wrong direction. So let's just rotate that. Hey, now we're going to move this down across. Let's get it where something like that. Huh. So, what do you reckon about that? Don't tell me you don't like it, because you'd be lying. This is actually, let's get our square up. Click return. Okay. After all that, that sky doesn't look too bad before and after. That, not perfect. But if you weren't watching this video, you wouldn't realize it. I'm just making this shit up. Okay. And the edge looks pretty good. I don't, it's a bit dodgy there, but hey, you don't get much for nothing these days, do you? Okay, let's have a look now. We've got the bones there. Let's work on top of that now. Okay, we need to fashion the light, or do we want it to be a little bit more bright and cheery? Let's have a look. Going into, let's looking at some of my different, oh, that's bright and cheery. Look at that fake blue. It's disgusting. Teal and orange, yuck. Teal and orange I've worked out is only good for some things. Skin tones. No, it's taken away. Not making it look better. Neither is that. Let's do the clean neutrals. More color. The rocks look better, but the sky looks terrible. So I'm just going to invert that and just brush it in on those rocks. White as our foreground color, and just make that. It's just made those rocks look a little bit more colorful, which is kind of nice. Maybe what's happening up here, it might be that actually that whole area is probably can be better. Let's have a look. Before and after. Only subtle, but it's something. Let's do a stamp visible. Command Option Shift E, and let's try bringing in. No. I'm not going to go that way. I'm going to keep trying to work on the cheeriness factor. Yeah, I'm going to make it a bit lighter and a bit cheerier, because not everything is depressing and sad. I've just done that selective color. I'm going to duplicate it, and then I'm going to change that top one to screen, and I'm going to hit 5 on the keyboard, 1 on the keyboard, and then 0 on the keyboard, and just try and work out between 0 and 1 what opacity I want to set for this image. 10, 20, 30, 40. I think 30%. So there we go. That's kind of nice. So now we're starting to get something that's actually starting to look more pleasant. You know, it's a little bit touristy, but not super touristy. It still has some nice elements. Um, let's just flatten it because I'm getting close to being finished. Command A, Command T. We're just going to pull this up. Hold down the Shift key, pull that handle up just to give it a bit more height. And I think the sky's a little bit just the horizon's a little bit too much in the center. Let's see. Actually, no. You know what? I think I'll keep it like that. Look at the water in close and see if these things look better. Gone. There's a few rocks here that might just be nicer if they weren't there. I mean, that one needs to be there, really. Let's have a look. Just try and take away a bit of that. Make it a little bit more simple, a bit cleaner. So let's go back to that. Before and after, that's better. Even though we've done some bad things, we're going to accept it as my ruler. Horizon is close enough for Jazz. Save it. Going to add an action of down here, enhance presence. You can see that before and after. And I'm going to add a layer mask, invert it, and I'm just going to brush it on the rock just to give that area of rocks a bit more of a lift, make them come forward. Yeah, that's better. Doesn't look as bad. Maybe a little bit up here as well. Just to add that bit of mid-tone contrast in the foreground. Okay. It's pretty cheery. Save it. Let's have another look. Get a bit of a sense of what it's doing. Well, you know what? I may keep refining it, but right now I think you've probably had enough of this rubbish. And you're probably thinking, well, Fletch, I think you might have failed the mission on this one. And you would be right in saying that. But let's go back to the start. Finish. Start. Finish. Yeah. I'm not going to win any awards. So that's fine. You know, bugger it. It's done. Cheers.